My husband prefers to be with his parents rather than be with me and our baby, and he kicked us out and said he's going to find someone who is truly wife material. Posted by you/Cappuccino124. I come here to vent. I have seen so many stories that I thought many were made up, but I can't stand this pain anymore. In order not to be so obvious, I will not use names other than Eric for my husband's name. I'm a 27-year-old woman, and my husband, who we will call Eric, is 25. We met at university, and although not everything was so nice in our relationship, we were able to move forward. We got married and recently had a baby. My husband has the habit of living with his parents. Being an only child, he wants to be with them all the time. Okay, I understand, but since we moved in with them, life has become hell for me, starting with them not knowing the meaning of privacy and coming into our room whenever they want. On many occasions, I have had to change my clothes, even putting them on backwards. I have communicated this discomfort to him, but he simply does nothing. On one occasion, his father even came in when I was practically without clothes. I had to quickly cover myself, and he left the room anyway. It's annoying, but he's used to having his life invaded like this. The dogs they have at home are very dirty, and the doctor already prohibited us from having animals near our baby. Far from understanding, my husband got angrier and preferred to ignore the doctor. It is worth mentioning that my baby has sensitive skin and is allergic to dog hair. In addition, the dogs do their business inside the house, especially in the kitchen, since they make them sleep there due to the cold. Last Sunday, our baby ran out of milk because I don't have enough, so she is mixed breastfeeding. That morning, I didn't get up in a good mood, and after seeing that she didn't have milk, I became desperate because of her crying. Days ago, I had told him that there wasn't much left in the bottle. He got upset and just decided to ignore me. I want to mention that I don't work because I couldn't finish my degree, and I was planning to do it next year since I only have one more year left. I sat on the bed crying helplessly, as I couldn't buy the jar of milk for her myself and had to wait for him to give me the money or at least buy it himself. The problem arises when my mother-in-law enters the room, as always without knocking, and repeats to me that breakfast was served a while ago. I had no head to eat. First it was my baby's crying, and I want to mention that when I get depressed, my body doesn't eat anything. I feel bad, and on many occasions, I even vomit. Going back to the story, I told her that I wouldn't eat it, that I would go get the milk. I told her in a low voice because I had already cried and was depressed about what was happening. She left, and then came back in and started yelling at me, telling me that I am inconsiderate, that I always behave like this, and that she is not there to put up with my whims, that I should go and not let her stop me. Eric, upon seeing his mother's reaction, simply threw the suitcase at me and told me to pack my things. Believe me, I froze, but he insisted and told me that it was all my fault, that I can't even give enough breast milk to my baby. That was the last time I insulted his family, and he told me to hurry up and pack everything so that he would stop bothering his parents. They don't know the pain of his words. I simply packed everything I could and put it in the car that he borrowed from his parents, and we went down to my apartment. I stayed crying while he left. On the way back to his house to return his father's car, that afternoon I cried until I was tired. When he arrived, he didn't speak to me and just slept in the living room. I insisted on talking, but he just told me that he was sick of me and that he just wanted me to go back to my parents' house. They live in another state. I started to cry and asked him to talk. It's been 3 days, and today I tried again, but it was worse. He told me that he didn't love me, that he didn't consider me his family, and that his grandmother had complained that he was kicking her out of the house. I told him that the grandmother thing was a lie, that even he was there, but he acted crazy and just said, "I can't take your side because they are my family." That hurt me even more since I felt betrayed. On top of that, he also told me that his parents will withdraw their support if he continues with me. I want to clarify that he still has his thesis to finish, and his parents are paying his graduation expenses. I just cried, and he just looked at me and said, "Go with your parents and take the baby. I'm looking for a woman who wants to live in my parents' and grandparents' house. I want to live with my parents and work there with them. You're not wife material. Go with yours and make your life so I can make mine. I'll send you money for the baby's expenses, and that's it." I couldn't believe it. I was a crumb for 4 days, begging him, even though the mistake was his parents, and I was still to blame for it. I'm devastated. I already bought my plane ticket for me and my baby. I don't know what to do or how to tell my parents that they kicked me out. Today he packed his things and went to his parents' house, despite everything I told him and begged him. He didn't care. I feel stupid for waiting for him to walk through that door and hug me. /relevant comments. Commenter. You're not stupid. You're a mom doing her best while your husband chose comfort in his parents over you and your baby. That's not love, that's abandonment. Go where you're respected and supported. You and your child deserve peace, not pain. You've got this. Ops response. It hurts me that he didn't take my side, and even more that he left. I don't know where that sweet man is who promised to always be by my side. Commenter 2. He chose his parents over you and your baby, then blamed you for his family's disrespect. You deserve so much better. Ops response. Lose. But it still hurts me because I really love him. I left my family on the other side of the country so he wouldn't leave his, even when I had the baby and I bled during childbirth. He just said, "Okay, now get over it." Update 1 day later. Hello friends, thank you for your advice. Today he came in his parents' car and took us to our baby's physical therapy session, but he took advantage of the fact that he was not at home to pick up all his things from the apartment. I'm not going to deny that not seeing his clothes or his things hurt me. I cried until I got connected on a call with my sister. When he came to drop us off after physical therapy, I wanted to talk to him. I wanted him to come to his senses and see that I just wanted to keep our family together, but he just left me there crying, standing at the door, waiting for him to turn around and regret this decision. I know that I lost my pride by begging him to stay, but I really love him and he just left me there. I sent him messages, and the only thing he told me is that he has already made his decision and he will not go back. You don't know how much pain I felt. But as my sister told me, this pain will pass and he will have to come back. When he wants to come back, I don't know if I will be with him. At the moment, I am devastated and I spoke to my mother to have moral support. I feel that alone I fall more into anxiety. Top/relevant comments. Commenter. Hun, I just read your first post. Holy crap. I'm so sorry. You not having enough milk is not your fault. Your husband and his family should have considered the fact that stress can lead to a smaller supply. This man is still acting like a child. Being with mommy and daddy. He's a grown man with a family and a child. His running away like a little craphead is unacceptable. When you get married and become a parent, your partner and child come before everything. He probably doesn't see it and may never see it, but he is making the biggest mistake of his life. I know that you want that family unit, but sometimes it's better for them to walk away. You haven't done anything wrong. You expressed your feelings and wanting to stay together, and he is walking away from it. Your baby doesn't want or deserve to see his dad treat his mom poorly. Make sure you keep reaching out to your sister and mom for support. Maybe get into some therapy to help with the stress of motherhood and the husband situation. It will all work out. You don't deserve a husband who treats you and lets his mother treat you badly. Spend time with your family and baby. You deserve the absolute best. Hope you are enjoying those baby cuddles. Ops response. I would like to be strong for my baby. Although sometimes all this got to me, I can't be the woman he wants me to be. I promised myself never to let anyone walk on me, but by loving him so much I lost my self-esteem. I wonder if one day he will regret all this. Second update 10 days later. Hello everyone, I was absent for a while because I was very depressed. Last week, I took a flight to get to my parents' house. He signed the travel authorization and here I am at my parents' house. I was able to talk more in depth about this topic with my mother and she advised me to let things go and said that one day he will regret it and come back. But a week has passed, he has not returned and he barely talks to me to find out how our baby is doing. I am desperate. It is painful for me to see that, from one day to the next, my marriage and my family were destroyed by my in-laws. I was left devastated. I know that I must move forward, but it is difficult. It still hurts me to know that my partner, the one I chose for life, has betrayed me in that way. Even so, I decided to go ahead and look for a job and ask my father to help me finish my studies. I don't want to remain stuck in depression. Thanks to everyone who advised me. Top/relevant comments. Commenter. Sis, you need therapy. The level of betrayal is devastating. You need help to sort out your feelings and move on to the next phase of your life without the drama. Good luck. Do not run back to that man. Nothing will change. Commenter 2. Accept that he is the wrong man for you, and his family is disgusting. Let him go and stop shedding tears for him. It's a blessing that he isn't interested in your child, so you can have full custody and control. You won't have Eric and his horrible family trying to ruin you and your daughter's lives. Get an attorney, get a divorce, finish your education, and have a much happier life. Third update 2 weeks later. Hello everyone, thank you for such nice messages. These days, I was very depressed. I decided to make zero contact with him, and I have not heard from him for more than 2 weeks. My older brother is very upset. My parents told me not to ask for a pension since I have their support. He just continued with his life, as a friend told me. It still hurts me, and about the postpartum depression, I think I did experience it because it was not easy for me not being able to breastfeed my baby well and the constant pressure from my in-laws, or well, ex-in-laws. I plan to open a cafeteria with a very good friend. My baby is improving thanks to physical therapy, but now I have to return to the city where I lived with him to pick up my things and move near my parents. I know that this will happen at some point. I don't know if he will repent one day, but I don't want to fall again and forgive him. I won't deny that I felt tempted to call him and ask him to reconsider, that we still have time, but there is no point in turning back. I want to heal my soul and focus on my baby and moving forward. I am afraid of the things he will say because his family, although they are fanatical Christians, are hypocrites. I already found out that his mother wants to pair him with her best friend's daughter, and that felt like a betrayal. I will be telling you, as time passes, about my decision and what happens. It's not easy, but I don't want to cry for him anymore. My mom told me to make myself prettier and more alive for me and my baby, so he realizes that he made the worst decision of his life. Although I don't know if one day he will regret it. Thank you all for listening to me. Top/relevant comments. Commenter. I read all your posts. He's an enmeshed man, and he won't change because he doesn't want to change. He has an unhealthy relationship with his parents and will probably never have a successful romantic relationship with anyone. His partner will always be second. Even if he somehow finds a partner who is willing to put up with all the nonsense, she will always be second, as will the children. This is not about being an only child wanting to be close to his parents. If for some reason he wants you back, don't expect him to change. Do research on enmeshment. There are YouTube videos by Kenneth Adams and a book called When He's Married to Mom. Please work on yourself and go to therapy. You need help to grieve this relationship, work on your postpartum depression, and move forward in life. I know you can have an amazing life without this man. You can get your degree, open that cafeteria, and raise your child. You can do everything. You can move forward. The last thing I would like to say is your supply being low is not your fault. Anyone who says that is completely ignorant. I'm sure the constant stress did not help as well. Many women combo feed. You don't need to feel guilty. Ops response. I try to go to therapy, but I still don't feel good leaving the house. Even when I take my baby for his physical therapy, I see so many couples together facing the difficulties of their babies as a family, and I don't understand why he didn't want to do that. It was so easy to choose his parents, and it made me even come to envy those parents who would give everything for their babies. I won't deny that since pregnancy I cried and had a very bad time, even worse when I found out that my baby had the cord around his neck. I felt that everything that happened to him was my fault, and his complaints made me feel worse. Commenter 2. Go for the pension. Offer to have him terminate his rights for a settlement. You do not want him to have mommy suddenly decide that once he gets with someone whom she deems acceptable, the perfect thing would be to take custody of your child away from you so they can be a happy family. Also have others go get your things when you're ready. Do not go alone, and if possible, let them handle it. You do not need the stress. Start speaking with a counselor or therapist to help you process what you're going through. You may not think so, but you've got this. I completely understand the breastfeeding emotions, as I never actually developed milk at all with my son. I promise it gets better. Ops response. Thank you very much for the advice. I feel bad and like the worst mother in the world for not being able to give milk to my baby. His words echo in my head on that topic, and it hurts me. Commenter 3. Why would you not get a pension from your ex-husband? You and your baby are entitled to that money. Ops response. He always belittles me because I demanded that I work to have a better future, and the truth is I don't want his family to invent that even though they are separated, they still support me. Commenter 4. Please take the money for the baby. It can go straight to the bank and be kept for them when they are older, if you are worried they will claim the money is being used by you for yourself. He is being shameful by abandoning his family. It is weak character and makes his whole family weak. He must support his baby with money at the very least because he failed as a father.